Hi everyone, welcome to the new video by BigThunderBen, that's me. Today we'll be discussing a few things about the new movie, Solo, a Star Wars Story, and my first reactions on it after seeing it on the early screening yesterday. The first point that I have written down is, why did I like it? Now there's a few things under that point. There was a very clear character development, and that's sort of rare to see, especially in these anthology films. This one really delves in and shows you emotion, shows you why each character is doing what they're doing. Maybe it didn't go in depth on absolutely everyone, but it did a better job than a lot of the other Star Wars movies. There were also some nods to some familiar westerns like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which I really like since I'm a big fan of westerns. The film didn't shy away at all from violence. At some points it got pretty gruesome in some of the war zone scenes. Maybe there wasn't that much blood, but it was pretty violent. Another thing I absolutely loved, and maybe this is one of my favorite things about the film, was there was a consistent lighting, set, and color grading throughout the film. So in other words, it was very visually appealing. It was fun to see how they could work with those colors and really make them pop out rather than giving the dull appearance of a lot of modern films. My next point for why I liked it is it really felt dated. I mean, I talked about how Thor Ragnarok had that fuzz in the background. You could probably check that out in the top right hand corner, but it really managed to pull off a dated, maybe 60s, 70s action film, and at some point it even felt like a mystery film or a spy film from that era. It wasn't only the angles and the framing of the shots, but it was also really the direction and even some of the writing that contributed to this nostalgic feeling. Now, who am I to talk? I'm only 18 years old and I wasn't really around back then. My last point on why I liked it was the great acting. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, as you heard Alden Ehrenreich, the guy who played Han Solo, had 5 different acting coaches. Now, a lot of people were getting a little worried and thinking that this might be because he doesn't know how to act, but it just proved to be the contrary. I'm gonna come back to that in just a second. My next point is there were quite a few things that were contrary to my predictions. I really enjoyed how things like the Sabacc game that won Han the Falcon from Lando were taken seriously and weren't just some throwaway joke as they could have been. I also very much enjoyed the comedy in the film. Now, I know Lord and Miller were originally directing this and it was supposed to be a funny film, but I thought after they got thrown away there wouldn't be that much comedy, but I think it was very well done. The comedy that was in there was pretty well balanced, is what I'm trying to say. Also, I really enjoyed how they used Han's golden dice as a luck charm, as we saw them in The Last Jedi and A New Hope. And now to talk again about Alden Ehrenreich's acting. It was very, very impressive, and he did capture the essence of Han. As I've seen other reviewers and other people talking about this film say, he didn't necessarily do a Harrison Ford impression, but he did capture character and the charm, even in the way that he walked, and some of his very subtle movements were very much reminiscent of our good old friend Harrison Ford. Something I didn't expect to see in this movie was a few focused scenes on the friendship between Han and Chewie, and a few justifications there as to why they were so close in the original trilogy. Now, I'm keeping this relatively free of controversy and things that I didn't like about the film, and I don't think I can name that many really. One thing that the movie didn't really have that much of, and maybe going into the film, be ready to expect this. I mean, it is Solo, a Star Wars story. There wasn't that much Lando. He sort of took a back seat in this film, but I do believe Donald Glover did a pretty good job. I'm not gonna say exceptional. Maybe a second viewing will change my mind. I'm a huge fan of Donald Glover as it is and was happy to see him in a Star Wars movie, but I definitely want to see more of Donald Glover's charm as Lando in the future. Maybe not so much in his own Solo Lando movie, no pun intended there, maybe in a Solo sequel. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on Solo, a Star Wars story. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see me discuss some more movie stuff, you can check out this playlist right here. If you want to check out my channel, check out this button right here. I make videos on absolutely everything Disney and Disney intellectual property and the Disney parks every single week, so feel free to tune back in and leave a like. Thanks for watching guys, and have a very merry unbirthday, at least to the most of you.